numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man. Check the wrist, man. Got him hot. Ay, man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me cause I like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy.
All right, Coach, autumn in full swing, and it is decently chilly, but all in all, a pleasant day here at FedEx Field just outside of the District of Columbia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Redskins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Just like that.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Right back to him on first down. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
At the 22-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 26-yard line.
Come on,
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Go! Hey, Delta!
They'll set up a throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Now a handoff looking right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Set. 70. Indy.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. And this is Shepard on the catch.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Buccaneers, nothing.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
X3, 218, chop.
2nd and 2. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mecole Hardman, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They go play action now. Haskins, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Slayton, 76 yards. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Gain is up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. That's a microcosm of how it's gone for their rushing game so far this year. 29th in the league on the ground.
Yeah, it's a great illustration of what we're seeing because these problems go back to the offensive line. You can't give guys free access to your backfield. Can't let these free runners come and get them because free runners turn into free hitters.
First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Yes, yes. Step.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. Go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Completes it to Hardman. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Come on, set.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Hey, 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 hey.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2nd and 4. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Let's go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last.
This is caught at the 20. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 57 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there. We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, it's Haskins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are,
and the pressure gets to him again. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Go. Hey, orbit.
Mine's 50. Come on.
Get it.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's hauled in by Shepard. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. Past the 20. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the whip.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
A big gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
Here we go. Set. 18 Gators.
50, Mike's 50. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Hey, check 2.
They'll drop the throw. His throw incomplete. Nicole Hardman, the intended target, and it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Mine's 50, mine's 50.
5.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Redskins on third down, putting an extra man here in the secondary.
It's a party now. Go. I got you. Bravo.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This will be fielded at the 17. And some strong running. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Play action. Haskins. He sets to fire deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
At the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Come to my work.
Ready?
They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right. It got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones. Look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Come on, set. 10-2 start.
Coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Switch.
Big rip.
Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Yes. Hey, high 7.
50, Mike, 50.
Get it.
They'll look to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
So they looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still in attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Haskins now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 32-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Let's go. Get set. Put it ready.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz? Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Result of the play, first down and 10.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat able to put an end to that play, and in so doing puts an end to this third quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Hey.
Now back to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. The Bucs on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Now. Motion backfield. Mike 50. Hey, wahoo. Pretty quiet. To go.
He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Able to find Harris, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 17. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
42. Buccaneers 10.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
It's caught. Shepard. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Monte Nicholson picks it. Well, he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 5.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a